I have an Android phone question.
Okay.
And, okay, I charged my phone yesterday and I know it, well, actually partly, I don't leave it charging overnight. So I had it charged partway and then I plugged it in again this morning to charge. And I noticed it's fully charged, but the battery icon is now a white with a little red cross on it, but it says it's charged. Well, I Googled that because I learned that from this class, and found out that when that happens, it means it usually was charged at a lower amp, as if, like if you were to charge it through your computer. But I didn't charge it through my computer. Now, my question is, can I don't know that there's anything wrong with that, but I would just assume there's a reason they let you know it was charged at a lower amp. I'm wondering if I should let it run down just a little bit and then plug it in again to charge it, or does anybody have any other suggestions? The other thing, the possibility is, I think that I noticed, well, I let it go down to about 14% before I started charging it last night because I was playing a game, truth be known. And it said, and I got the notice that you should put on the saver thing or whatever, but I didn't, I plugged it in. But my question is, so this morning when I was on, and I noticed when I went to do that question, it said that I didn't have the Wi-Fi turned on. So it maybe turned the Wi-Fi off for that reason. So I turned that on. And then I also turned on mobile data because I figured that was probably turned on, should be on. My question is, I think I've always had battery saver on, but should that not be on, do you think, or is?
I keep that on just 20, just
Okay,
to have.
okay. All right, so the question remains, should I try to charge it again before it gets all the way down?
You can, yeah, charge it whenever. My theory or question is it the cable that you're charging with? Did it somehow start going bad and slowing? I'd be curious to try a couple different chargers.
Okay.
See if that's it. It's trying to rule out different possibilities. Is it the cord? Is it the phone? Is it the power in the house? Ruling out those kind of like where in the process is it doing this would be good.
Okay.
But it shouldn't have to do with your Wi-Fi or mobile.
The other question is, does it make a difference if you have the phone on when you charge it than if you have it off? Okay.
No.
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 All right. And can this be meaning that the battery might be going bad or anything, or you think that's
possible? I wouldn't think that would be the error that it would give you if it was going bad. I would think the battery would just stop or I don't know.
okay?
I don't know.
But it's okay to try to charge it again when it's only like 90% down. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. At the beginning of technology times, or smartphones and things, they said for the first time you have it, to let it run down all the way so that it gets accustomed. But at this point, you've had it long enough that it shouldn't matter when you put it in.
Okay, thank you.
It shouldn't hurt the battery in any way.
I like her question because our home phones, their batteries do wear out after a while, and I have to just get a new one and pop that in. It's no problem. But I've been wondering about, my little track phone. It's just not holding the battery charged like it used to. I'm taking more pictures and little videos, but how do you know when you need? Does it tell you? Does anyone have an Android track phone? But probably not. I'm probably the only one. This whole thing. Will it warn me or just stop working at some point?
Well, you'll notice that it only lasts an hour or 2 hours, instead of the 5 hours or 10 hours or whatever it was. It will slowly decrease over time. Usually there's a reason for that. Usually for smartphones, it tends to be a software updates released. I don't know if track phones have software updates.
I don't know.
But that usually like puts so much more, sometimes a new update is designed for a newer device. So
Yeah.
your older device doesn't know how to handle that. So it will take more battery power to do that software ups. So usually software updates are the main cause for that. Or you've had the phone for, you know, four years or so.
That's what happened to mine, my
Yeah.
track phone. And it just would not recharge for more than an hour or so and just kept getting worse and worse. And I got a new one.
It's usually a sign that it's just time to get a new
Hmm.
device.
Speaking of new phones, what on earth, the 5G phones, they say you can get one $1,000 off. How much must the phone cost if they'll give you $1,000 off? Is it a $5,000 phone or what?
I've
I
not
don't-
heard about that promotion. I don't know of a, it sounds like a phishing scam to me.
Well, it's been on television or something. The ad was, forget and do this and get $1,000 off your new 5G phone. I'm going, what?
I saw that.
Oh, I got 2 emails yesterday where I could get iPhones for a dollar delivery fee. Yeah,
Not suspicious at all.
$1,000 iPhones for $1 delivery fee.
Lynn, I had a cool awakening last week.
Yeah.
You know, I've always upgraded, when it says there's an update, I've always updated my iPad and stuff.
Mhm.
And I had only, thank God, 2 documents in Pages, but I went to Pages on my iPad and it couldn't download it from the cloud. And so then I don't know, well, I probably just Googled why won't it? And it turns out that I've reached the limit of my upgrades on this iPad,
Mhm.
which is only 5 years old. And I thought, fine, how do I retrieve those 2 documents? One of which is our Christmas list. I didn't particularly want to lose it. And but fortunately my iPhone is newer. And so I could go to my iPhone, but why don't they tell you, especially when Pages is an Apple, product,
Mhm.
that if you upgrade, you're going to lose the ability to see your pages.
Yeah, it's one of those you do. I tend to do a lot of research before I upgrade to the new software. Not
Yeah.
typically like a software update, but a
Yeah,
software
I
update.
can't upgrade. I can't update this past 12.4 or something like that.
Okay.
And it says you've reached the limit of your updates. I'm going, oh, gee, thanks for telling me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can get on like email lists that it will be like, okay, this update's not compatible with X, Y, and Z. But usually you're able to keep the level and stuff with viewing documents in Pages at least.
Couldn't, because it was stored in the cloud. It wouldn't download them at all.
What was the storage limit full on your phone too? Or,
No.
oh, I know Pastor John was having issues with Pages the other day. So
Mm.
it might just be a weird thing.
It just-
He upgraded to Big Sur and it fixed it.
Well, but I can upgrade, so
I know. I know. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, and then it doesn't show up. Pages is not on my computer.
Your new one?
My
With
new
the
one.
M1 chip?
Nope. Isn't that amazing? And it I know.
You should be able to download it if it's not.
I know you
there.
should be able to, but when whatever. Still working on that problem. The other problem I have with the new thing is that it did not, when I brought in my quote Gmail account, it
Mhm.
automatically put it into Google instead of Gmail. So I'm still
In
working on that
Spark
other one that you
or
gave.
Mac
me.
Mail.
Yeah, I guess it's Google Mac Mail or Google Mail, but it's not, it used to be Gmail. And even though my address is Gmail, all those go into Google Mail,
Well, Gmail is Google, so it probably just.
but it won't go into my Gmail. I have Gmail on there and it says it can't be opened, and everything goes right into Google.
Do you have 2 Google accounts?
Well, I don't think so, but I could double check.
Be curious to investigate that further.
Yeah,
You're not on your computer with that's having that issue, are you?
yes, I am.
Oh, do you want to screen share and show us? Or
Okay, I will screen share. Well, I can go to mail and then go back to. That's the church email. That's why I set up a new email. So if I'm scrolling up here,
Mhm,
see, Google has everything in there.
mhm,
And then when I go to, and it's interesting, if I go to Gmail,
mhm,
if I click on sent, there's stuff in there. If
mhm.
I click on inbox, no messages.
Do you see there's a little like circle with a wavy line?
Yeah, this guy here.
That means that it's not syncing.
Yeah, and I put in it says
Password?
enter the password for user Connie Aman, and I put it in and it didn't do anything. Every
Really?
day it tells me every day I turn this on that they want me to do that.
So the Google one that has the 2,000 emails.
It's probably got 7,000, sorry. Yeah,
That's a different email.
well, if
Do you have 2 of them listed?
my email, my Google account, no, they shouldn't be. They should be the same password. And I've tried both passwords on, the problem is I have a Google account and password, and that doesn't work. And then I've got my email, and I thought I made them the same. I don't know. I'll play with it. I'll see whether that's the case.
It looks like it's 2 different accounts, but I don't know why.
But but if you email me at my Gmail account, it goes into Google.
Well, Google, it just somehow got labeled as Google instead of Gmail, and you might be able to rename it.
Oh. Okay.
But
I'll
I think
work
of
on
those interchangeably.
I'll play with it.
Okay, good luck.
I know. Thank you. Here, let me on screen share here. Oh, you did me.
I did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is serious, Connie. If you don't get your Christmas list, does that mean I won't get my present next year?
No, I was able to retrieve it in my phone.
Oh,
And we have it on paper as well, so.
Paper, you tree killer.
Oh, yeah, right.
Knock, knock.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, I have a question. This might have been answered before. I use a Mac, and I have, unfortunately, like 10,000 emails on my computer. And many of them are like diary notes, like notes, back and forth to family, friends, that when something was happening. And I don't want to lose that. Those were special emails that we sent back and forth over the decades, probably. Can I save those somewhere? Not just that, like separate from my computer or, on a flash drive or something.
Well, you could.
If I individually, and if you've already done this, just give me a hint of when you talked about it and I'll go back and look for it.
We've talked about similar things, but not necessarily
Okay.
that specifically. There's a couple different things you can do depending on how you want to save them. So that's a decision for you. One way would
Okay.
be to make a folder and say, Lynn, and you have a, folder for each person, and you put all of the emails in that folder. So you can view them, and they should be archived chronologically that way.
And then they're not on my email anymore.
They're in your
completely moved
email,
off?
but they're not in your main inbox.
Got it. Okay.
So it's separate, it hides them. Like I've got
Okay.
hundreds of folders because I don't like if I
Cluttered.
can't see the bottom of my email,
Ooh.
makes me ODD.
Lynn, I would send you into apoplexy if you saw my
I
email,
know, I
my
know.
inbox. I don't
I
even
know.
have an
Oh.
inbox anymore. It's
So there's
overflowed.
that, which would all be
Okay.
digitalized, but it would still be in your email. So if you're worried about like a limit on your
Yeah,
inbox limit, you can, print them out and create a binder, like a paper trail version if
oh,
you
okay.
want, more like a historical diary form. But then if there's a house fire or something, you lose them.
Yeah,
So you could also, when you open the email, file save and save it to a folder in your computer, save it as a Word document or a PDF.
and that could go
And
on a
create a
flash drive, right?
folder on your desktop or documents.
Okay, all right.
So depending
Okay,
on
thank you. I
Actually,
thought you
email
mentioned it, but
provider you use. But
I'm
you want to
sorry?
make sure you save it as a PDF type document. Otherwise, if it saves as an Outlook email and you get rid of
Oh.
Outlook, you won't be able to open it.
got it. Okay.
But it's
Okay, good
safe,
point.
it's actually safest on the email servers, email provider server.
Okay. You mean
So-
just let Verizon keep them in the cloud somewhere? Is that what you mean?
I would say so because they're probably not going anywhere. Well, if you're using a Verizon email, it's somebody else's. I think isn't it Yahoo that's servicing
No,
Verizon
I'm not.
now?
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not. I have Gmail and I'm using the Apple Mail platform or whatever.
Okay, then it's on Google servers. They're not going anywhere
Right.
anytime soon.
Okay. I just didn't want to take up space in my computer. That's what I was worried about.
But
I
yeah, it's
have
not
so
on
many.
your computer. It's on Google servers.
It's in the cloud.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll go back through. Do you have a vague idea of when, or how would I go back and find your tech time discussions about this?
We talked about email folders a couple weeks ago,
A
didn't
couple
we?
weeks ago, yeah. You could
Okay,
create a
all right.
folder in your email for tech time recaps and put all
Oh,
of
good
them in
idea.
there.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks.
Yeah, just drag and drop them into the folders. Gmail labels them not as mailbox, but as they're called labels.
Oh,
We can
labels.
label. That was a couple weeks ago. That was maybe a month or two ago.
Okay.
We talked
I'll
about
look.
that here.
All righty.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good luck. Have fun.
Thanks.
A simple question. Where does one get rid of like old transformers,
Cables.
cables,
Best Buy.
and,
Best Buy has a
oh, right. Okay, that's right.
section right at the
Yeah,
door
right.
as you walk in. It's like
I've seen it.
electronics, ink, different sections.
Old cell phones
Yeah, things like that.
that have been cleared. Okay. I forgot about
Target,
that.
I think, has something similar, but I don't remember all the categories they have.
Thank you.
But yeah, I saw somebody drop off a VCR at Best Buy last time I was at Best Buy, so they take it all.
How about my 8-track?
I don't know about that
I
one.
wouldn't get rid of that. You can get a lot of money for that on eBay.
That's right. They're,
Give it to
they're going for
Spencer.
$10,000, Stan.
I'm whelmed.
And back too. You can buy them now for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have to pay for a divorce settlement. It's not worth it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dan.
Dan, I just want to say I thoroughly enjoyed your presentation. That was so
That's
thoughtful and so good to know all that about you. And you are just an amazing person. And thank you so much.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. Thank you for coming. I enjoyed it. So, Lynn, thank you for your message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish
wanted
I
you
could have
there, but-
attended.
But you're worked to death, so you can't be there. But
Yeah.
Yes,
I have a lot of evening meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
today marks the 15th day since I had my second vaccine. So I think next Tuesday I might get a haircut.
Wow.
I'm learning to sing monkeys tunes just in case I don't get one. Look at my hair. It's just unbelievable. So I think I'll get a haircut and then,
Someone
Dan,
will recognize you.
Dan,
yeah.
there's a good barber in Falconer. His name's Vince, and he charges $10.
Yeah, but I gotta go all the way to Falconer. I know.
Well,
Yes,
what do you want?
Where's Falconer?
For $10.
Falconer,
He's right on the main street there.
right.
That's
That's
where
where I
I
went
go.
to school. You
At the
know, for
barber?
my presentation, you showed my yearbook and so on, that was Falconer.
Mm.
Like I said, I was president of my class, but it was at Faulkner High School, which is not all that. It's kind of a country school, but.
Okay, well, just keep that in mind, $10. His name's
thanks for the
Vince.
tip. Yeah. How about this? I have this.
Ooh.
I've had it for some time, but I use a desktop. I also use a landline. We know I'm regressive. The thing is, my lap's all over the place and so on. And now Patty just got me on BookBud, something for Revelation, a $1.99 thing on Revelation, which is good because we're doing that. I met with the guys last night. I'm not using this, and I'm getting a lot of pressure because I've had it for some time. But I like to come in here, sit, and people don't like desktops. I don't know. I like it because it's always here, it's in front of me and so on. It's so much more useful. That is just not easy for me to use.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also different. It's because I
It doesn't
know
have a keyboard.
none of you, most of you are not desktop people, and you speak a bit disparagingly of those of us who are desktopers, but
I am one, Dan.
I'm on a desktop.
Me too.
I am too.
Me
I
also.
have one. It's just too old to use for this.
yeah, it's a sign of maturity, I think, desktopers. But I don't know how to. I'm just looking for ideas. How do I make this part of my life and also use desktop?
Mhm. I use them for different purposes. Like I get a lot of morning devotionals and e-news articles, and I like to take my iPad and either read it on the couch outside, set it up on the kitchen table to read with breakfast, so it's more movable than sitting on my lap or
What is your iPad? What is see, this is a totally different.
it looks like an iPad.
No, it's my brain. You know what it is. It's
Is it a
Surface?
is it a Surface?
no,
A Kindle?
yes.
Oh,
You know, oh my gosh.
I have a Kindle I almost never use because I can get Kindle on my iPad.
But using a Kindle, it's got different software and so on. Like for email.
Mhm.
I write notes a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I use it for investments, but I don't want to use this for investments. I want to keep
Mhm.
that here. For Amazon, I do that here. It's so much easier to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or for just writing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Kindle was designed as a reading tool mostly.
Right.
I think they had pressure from other manufacturers. People weren't buying them because they couldn't get on the internet, so they put internet access on them, and they became tablet-like. But it's really a reading device.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And is it a Kindle Fire by any chance? Because that
No, the fire's gone out a long time ago.
now that's a
no, it's,
device that has internet built into it, and it's also a regular Kindle.
Yeah.
Because my
Yeah, it's
sister-in-law has
got-
one of those. I've seen it.
It's got internet. I don't.
My Kindle's purely reading.
My Kindle's so old it still has the 3G link that takes forever for documents to download to it, but it's the big one.
Mm.
See, but I move much slower than 3G. So this 5G, this 5G is of no use. And I have eye issues, so reading, that's not the.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have sons-in-laws who are very adept and so on, and I wouldn't call it peer pressure because they're my sons-in-law. It's not a peer type thing, but there's a lot of pressure to use this sort of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, the nice thing with the Kindle, as far as reading with eye problems, is you can make the font really big.
Size you want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
one thing I've got is this. Wait a minute. You know what that is? This is, you can put it over your head, plug it in. Remember, I don't sleep much. Now I could put something in and maybe help me sleep. What do you think of that?
Mm-hmm. That works.
I don't sense a high level of excitement about it, but
We don't
That's
want
a
you
thought.
sleeping during tech time.
yeah. Don't. Okay.
A nighttime story before you go to sleep, Dan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Audible.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Think about it. If you
Mhm.
got any thoughts about it.
Mm.
If you do Netflix or any streaming providers, I mean, that would be a way to watch in a room or someplace different.
See, this is made, laptops are made, a lot of it for going out.
Mhm.
And I've been out of the house since Old Testament times. It's been forever since I've been out of the house. So that it's not of that much use from that perspective.
Mhm.
Well, the other possibility is just being in a different room.
Mhm.
I have this desktop in an office situation. I use my laptop when I'm reclining in my living room.
The big thing, they're different software. So it's not like I can pick up easily, unless you tell me how I can do it, what I'm working on here and move it down on the couch.
Mhm.
Well, the Kindle isn't really designed to do what you're doing on the laptop.
Mhm.
Hence my problem. That's right.
Yeah. It's too bad they didn't get you a tablet or something that had a little more flexibility with that.
Put it on your Christmas list.
Yep.
Yeah, my iPad is our second TV. Because we're on Comcast, and I can get Comcast on the iPad. So if we want to watch something and it's dinner time, I just take my iPad into the kitchen, and that's our second TV.
Well, Patty's got an iPad Pro. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We have church every Sunday on her iPad Pro. That's right. So.
Mhm. I like, you talked about journaling and different things. I do enjoy the Apple Pencil and being able to write on my iPad. And have it
They're
convert into
expensive.
text. But that's super techie. But yeah. The more you use it, the more you'll find ways of wanting it in your life.
Right.
It takes time. It's like when you get when you get a smartphone, when you first get it, all you use is the phone app and the text message. And then slowly over time, you start using other stuff.
Never thought I'd use my smartphone the way I do.
I know, me neither.
I kept saying, I really don't need that.
Mm.
Yep.
Now I do more budgeting and banking on it.
I got rid of my dumb phone. I don't even have, all I have is the phone here. But I'm out, but I'm here most of the time, so.
Mhm. There's no reason. Yep.
Yeah.
Can I switch? I don't want to dominate, but if someone else has, I want to upgrade, different subject altogether. My office, upstairs, maybe 3 rooms, I want to redo, okay? And I'm redo, Patty and I talked about even getting a designer, someone to help us, who's particularly good at, I want them folks to be on good design because I want to make it nice. I spend a lot of time here, but also someone who's good at handling issues for somebody who doesn't move fluidly, disability type things. One thing, if anyone knows anybody who fits that category or knows somebody who would know somebody who fits that category, let me know. The other thing, is there software that for rooms set up so that you can get online or you get in the software and place things in a room and that, you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I know they
Can you
have
be
them
more
on their
specific?
there's
website.
a lot of free room arrangement software available.
How would I move toward getting that?
You'd probably have to do a Google search on arrange room and try a few out. Some of them only work online, some of them work on your computer, where you download the software to your computer. Some of them are upgradable to do architectural drawings. But there are some that are as simple as identify furniture, tell them the size, and you can move it around in a diagram of your room.
Good. Good idea.
Lots of choices. Probably too many for you because you want a quick solution.
Mm-hmm. I'm
But-
sorry, I don't have a recommendation for you.
Yeah,
because I've never done it.
you'd have to try out a few. And find one with an interface that you're comfortable with.
I wonder if I went to, we bought furniture at Bassett, Raymore and Flanagan, people like that.
Uh-huh.
If I called somebody there, I wonder if they would be, I like to, because I don't know everything, I like to talk to people who do know things that are knowledgeable. Now, maybe a place like that would know more about this. What do you think?
They might have their own one that they'll send you to on their website.
Yeah, that's possible.
but doesn't hurt to ask. They would know better than we would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you, on those free software room planning apps, would you have to measure all your furniture, like hand measure it?
Yes.
Mhm.
Ooh,
You'd
okay.
have to know the dimensions of your room.
I've
Yeah.
done most of that, I think. So,
Okay, oh, yeah. Good for you. All right, just curious, thinking.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to know its footprint in the room.
Mhm.
that's pretty much all I'm curious about for today.
That's good.
Thank you for your input.
Sorry, we didn't have more specific answers for you.
You were helpful. You were always helpful.
Any other questions? Don't everyone speak up at once.
Oh,
Everybody knows everything.
That's right.
Good.
We're getting so
Oh.
informed.
You've trained us well.
mm.
Or we're getting back to normal and aren't in the house as much anymore.
That's true, Nancy.
Mm.
I don't know. I've got such bad allergies that I'm not going outside today.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I just saw a story on that people are not suffering as much from allergies this year because they're wearing masks, and the masks protect them against the allergies too.
That's true, but we don't have to wear masks when we go walking around Marist Grove, so we have been taking them off.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah, I
on
don't
the
know.
other side of the kids are not getting sick as much. My grandkids are not getting sick like they did when they were at school.
Yeah.
Because they're not in the middle of all this.
Yeah,
People in general aren't getting sick,
right.
no matter the age.
Well,
I like the idea of not driving home from nighttime church meetings and Bible.
oh, yes.
Right, yeah, exactly.
We're spoiled with that.
I
Yeah,
think,
I'm gonna have a hard time going back to that.
okay, Lynn, you're the Zoom expert. Do you think that we can reach a point where, okay, first of all, I do like to meet with people because you have person-person contact.
Mhm.
But for me, there's a lot of advantages to not having to go out and do all.
Right.
Right.
How fluidly do you think we could set it up so that meetings that historically were done at the church and then through the pandemic were done
Mhm.
the other way? How easily can we combine both so that
Hybrid?
you've got a meeting going on at church or a
Mhm.
Bible study in someone's house and they hook it up so somebody's are virtual and somebody's
Yep.
how is that?
In the fall, the church purchased something called an owl. It's this like, it looks like an Alexa, where it's a 360 microphone and camera. So if you put it in the middle, if you have a U-shaped table
Mhm.
and you put it in the middle, it will find whoever's speaking and move the camera to that side of the room. So you'd be in like one Zoom display would show that conference table.
How much something like that cost?
It was $1,000 that we purchased it. And it works fairly well. We were trying it in Spelman Junior, and we tried doing a hybrid staff meeting just to see what it was like. And it worked. It wasn't great, but it worked. But we are looking into getting an estimate to see, because we have a couple smart TVs set up in the church already. So it would be easy to plug in, and show stuff. It's just being able to hear and see is more of a challenge. But we're looking to see what it would cost to do a Zoom room, which is basically a conference room, like in like movies where like the president is on a conference call with like all of the
Right.
thing. We're looking into what that might cost. So I haven't got the proposal back yet, but we are, because everybody feels that way. You know, you've got congregants that live 45 minutes away. We had new members join recently who live in Pittsburgh and they've enjoyed doing the journey class. So we'd like them to still be able to participate when it does move over. So
And the older you get, you wouldn't realize this, Lynn, but the older you get, and I'm not just being facetious, the eyesight, no matter what, it's harder to drive at night with glare and things like that.
yeah.
It's downright dangerous.
Yep. Well, my personality, like when I get home at night, I don't want to go back out, you know, like,
Right.
Yeah. That,
Bill and I were talking about this very thing last night because on Tuesday, we both had meetings. He had stewardship, I had ASG, and interestingly, Lynn, we were on 2 different Zoom meetings, but they still gave feedback. Until I
Wait,
moved
what?
into the bedroom
what?
and he was in the kitchen 50 feet away.
I'm sorry,
Um,
Connie, what did you say? You had 2 meetings, but
We
what?
had two different Zoom meetings, one both at church, but different committees. So he was in the kitchen and I was here in the den, and both meetings were getting feedback. So I picked up my laptop and moved into the bedroom, and then it was okay. But we said, you know, maybe we'll go to where we have Zoom meetings 3 times a month, and the 4th week we have a dinner and committee meetings like they used to. But do it so you're in person once a month and you do the Zooms 3 times a month or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're looking at a couple things, and I think different groups will want different things. So it's going to be different.
Must be 10:45.
I love the grandfather clocks.
I know, that's
And the
great.
cuckoo clocks.
Is that your way, Lynn, of telling us that we're done?
No, that's my chime clock. It's a mantle clock, actually.
Oh, I
10:45.
was saying you could be more subtle, but you know.
15 minutes.
Dan,
Mhm.
I found a piece of software real quickly called planyourroom.com. It lets you grab a piece of furniture and pull it lengthwise and widthwise to adjust its shape.
Okay.
And it looks like you can do the same thing to the room dimensions. So very simple interface, but very realistic looking drawings.
Plan your room. I don't even have to write that down. Plan your room.
.com.
Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you. I am going to write.
Be a good place to start.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
Vaccines. Did anyone have the Johnson vaccine?
My son got it on Sunday because I found a link on Nextdoor and sent it to him in the morning. And by that, he got an appointment for 6:30, and was it the next day they stopped? Now,
Yeah.
we're not real nervous about it because the odds are so great that nothing would happen, and he's a man, but
My
But
daughter
it-
had one.
Yeah. My granddaughter got one a week ago today. She and her roommate at college got it. So I told her to watch out for the symptoms. But I mean, it's such a long shot, but we kind of laugh because her poor roommate gets everything that comes along the pike, and she has all these weird things, problems that aren't really major problems, but we just said, oh no, Juliana's going to be the first one to get this. So anyway, but we're praying that it's going to be okay. Because Lucy's going to be a camp counselor at Black Rock, if you know that retreat center, this summer. And so she definitely wanted to make sure she had the vaccine before she started at camp.
All right.
Well, they made a big deal about it, which I understand the reason they have to, but you're, from an odds point of view,
Yeah.
I mean, out of millions of people, you had 6, people, something like that.
It's like a 1 in a million chance.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How many of you are familiar with CVIM?
With
You
what?
know, Dr. Mary Worship
Mhm.
just had brain surgery.
Mm.
Mm.
So we're going to get more details. We're hoping tomorrow. The surgery went quote unquote as expected, which is good news for brain surgery. Haven't heard much since then, but
Mm.
add her to your prayer list, please.
Mm. Yeah. Definitely.
Steve,
Yeah,
had she gotten the COVID shot?
yeah. The providers at CVIM have gotten their COVID shot.
Okay.
They got their stuff pretty early.
Yeah.
Any other prayer concerns we can add to our list?
Doing well.
Well, that's good. Good.
Well, I always have things, but I don't want to be a prayer chain dominator, so.
Dan,
Feel
I like your
free.
hair.
We have
You
nothing
should
else to talk about today.
No.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah, if you guys want to head out, feel free. But if you do have a question or anything, let us know.
Thank all of you. You're a lot of help.
Yeah, it's a good group.
It is. It is.
we are very good, also very humble.
Yes.
And I was just gonna say that, thank you, Dan, for being our comedian, and now I don't know, he's got a competition here.
Right.
I won't quit my day job. I already did.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, guys. Bless you.
Hi, guys.
Bye.
Blessings to all.
Let me know what you think of Plan Your Room, Dan.